Good afternoon, everyone. This is Michael Leach from Professional Auto going live for you. I decided to do it on my deck outside today. So, hot topic came through. We're a Virginia State Safety Inspection Station. We've been doing state safety inspections for Virginia for about, at least 10 years now. And we inspect, we probably inspect 30 cars a month or something like that. Not a huge volume of them compared to some places, but there's a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions on state safety inspections, and in terms of for and against state inspections, after a lifetime of fixing people's cars, I'm very much in favor of state safety inspections. The things that I see on vehicles are sometimes kind of frightening. And the Virginia State Safety Inspection Program is pretty comprehensive. It's state mandated that we can only charge $20 for it, even though it takes us a half an hour to do it. And our labor rate's $131 an hour. The state regulates our pricing down. We don't really mind doing it. Yes, we do get some work out of it, but customers always have the option to take their car somewhere else to do it, or to do it themselves or anything else. But, just last week, I was sitting at home on a Sunday, and my wife said, "Oh my God, honey, you have to look at this." And I look at the news article she's reading, and some poor woman outside of York County was killed on Interstate 64 when a wheel flew off a car and hit the car that she was driving, and it killed her. That's the kind of events that state inspections are designed to prevent. We see cars with completely bald tires with cords, like literally metal showing through the tires. And the stopping distance of a car with a tire like that is often double in wet weather that of a car with good tires on it. Additionally, shock absorbers, other suspension components can cause wheel alignment issues that increase stopping distance. And all of these things are things that are on the state inspection list for the state of Virginia. Well, a bulletin from the state of Virginia crossed our desk yesterday that said that the state of Virginia, we no longer are to consider the SRS, Supplemental Restraint System, as a warning light as a matter of state inspection. Now, when you start your car up and you look, you'll see the little airbag light or the SRS light come on, and it'll stay on for about 8 seconds, indicating that the warning indicator functions and the computer is doing a self-test of the system. And then provided that the system passes the self-test, the warning indicator will go out. And this is how you know that your airbag system is operational and will deploy to protect you in a crash. Modern vehicles are much, much smaller, and they're made out of much, much lighter materials. And because of this, the airbag is an absolutely essential component of keeping you safe in an accident. Many modern vehicles have, not only do they have the airbag that prevents you from smashing your face into the steering wheel at whatever speed you're traveling at. If you would like to hear about what that feels like, I wrecked a car pre-airbag, and that's how I got this beautiful, let's see, you can see in profile, this beautiful straight nose. So I had a doctor fix it for me 3 times to date after smashed the bridge of my nose and had orbital fractures all around both eyes. And I was wearing a seatbelt, and that's what happens when you don't have an airbag. I've experienced it personally. In race cars, we have 5-point harnesses and Hans devices so that we don't, because those obviously don't have airbags in them. But of course, you don't want to drive around town in a 5-point harness, a Hans device, and wearing a helmet. If you chose to do so, you would be very safe in the event of an accident, but it is very, very inconvenient to drive that way. So, for all of you that, they say, oh, well, the airbag system, it doesn't help keep anybody else on the road safe. I also want to bring up the point of your passenger. If I climb into the front seat of your vehicle, and your vehicle was built anytime in the last 25 years, you have airbags, front and passenger airbags. And many vehicles have side impact airbags and such other components to save lives. And if I can't see your airbag warning indicator on your dashboard, in front of your steering wheel, I can't verify that that works. But if you crash that car with me in the passenger seat, I'm not going to have the protection of the airbag system if that indicator's on. You know, when the airbag computer runs its self-test and finds a problem with the system, it turns that indicator on to tell you that the airbag system has a problem, and then it totally disables the system. It disables the driver airbag, disables passenger airbags, seatbelt pretensioners, all of the components that are designed to keep your body in the right place inside the car to ensure the least amount of harm to you in a crash. And airbags work. We are now traveling at higher speeds than we ever have before, and traffic fatalities have not increased. And a big part of it is the airbag systems in cars are saving a ton of lives. But now the state of Virginia says that our safety inspectors shouldn't have to inspect the airbag systems. You know, and it makes me wonder, you know, the federal government mandated that the airbags be installed in the cars for safety, along with the federal government mandating safety glass and the federal government mandating seat belts. The federal government said if you're going to sell these objects that can hurtle down the road at 75 miles an hour and be crashed, then you're going to have to take minimum steps to protect other people. The federal government has mandated backup cameras to prevent you from backing over kids in driveways. That was the reason why backup cameras became mandated, because there's too many situations where somebody hopped in the car and there was a kid behind the car and they backed over the kid. You know, and to me, the issue I have here is just the logical fallacy of it, that, you know we need safety inspections, because if we don't have them, people will drive utter garbage on the road. And they will drive cars with bald tires and bad ball joints and no brakes whatsoever. And they will drive those cars down the road next to your family at 75 miles an hour with a very real possibility of losing control of that vehicle and killing someone. The state safety inspection program is an inexpensive way to make people take care of their cars. And if you cannot afford to own a car and take care of it, then there are other modes of transportation that are available to you. I understand in a suburban environment like ours here in Newport News, they can be inconvenient, but they are available. You know, there is public transportation, there is busing, there is Uber, you know, a lot of things available to you without having to put somebody else's life at risk. And ditto the airbag system. You know, that's another component of, you know, if you're going to drive a car, you need to keep your equipment in good operating condition. And, you know, so far there are now only 13 states left in the United States that have safety inspections. North Carolina and Virginia are two of them. They did away with them in New Jersey. You know, a lot of people say that, oh, well, you know, states that got rid of their inspection programs, they weren't able to see any increase in accidents related to safety devices. Well, of course not. Number one, when you get rid of the safety inspection program, it takes several years for any adjustment to occur, because cars don't wear out overnight. The cars have been inspected and maintained, and they're ongoing. Number two, the people that assess the cause of the accident are police officers. And most police officers are not trained, do not have training to really have the opportunity to recognize, really are not trained, don't have the training to recognize the things that could contribute to the accident. If you rear-ended somebody, they're going to say that you weren't paying attention or that you followed too close. Now, the reality may have been that you were following at an appropriate distance and you were paying attention, but your bald tires didn't allow you to stop fast enough, so you crashed into the car in front of you. But the state police officer is not going to put down improper equipment as the cause of the accident, even though it was a huge contributing factor. They're going to put following too closely. You know, that's one reason why they'll say, you know, oh, we don't see an increase in accidents when we get rid of state safety inspection programs. Another point of state safety inspection programs is consumer protection. You know, people buy and sell cars. And if there is a state inspection sticker on that windshield of that car, that is a state-regulated program overseen by the Virginia Department of State Police that says that it is a crime for a state safety inspector in an auto repair shop to put that sticker on that windshield if that car doesn't pass. When you sign your name to that thing and you put that sticker on the windshield and you log into the state safety inspection portal, you are affirming that as a trained and certified state safety inspector, you have inspected that vehicle and it complies with state regulations. So if you're buying a car and it's got a fresh brand new inspection sticker on it, there is a level of accountability. Somebody, you can track down the person that did that inspection, you can complain to the state police, and you can, have that person held accountable for their actions for not inspecting the car correctly. And so you have some, reassurance that the car that you're buying does pass minimum safety standards. Another thing, people use to argue against state safety inspection programs, they say, well, dishonest mechanics use it as a means to try to, basically try to force people to do unneeded repairs. Well, once again, if you disagree with the judgment call of a state safety inspector, we can call the state trooper. The state troopers will come right on down, and trust me, they are not on the inspector's side. They are 100% there to make sure the consumer is protected. And the state trooper will come down to the shop. We'll put the car up on the lift, and I'll say, this is what I found, this wheel bearing, this ball joint, whatever else, and the state trooper will make a ruling on it as to whether or not it complies with state safety inspection program. So there isn't, there's not this situation where, you're going to have people being unethical and using the state inspection program as a lever to force unneeded repairs. In the case of Pro Auto, we go one step beyond that. We take photographs of everything. So if we're saying your brakes are worn out, you get a picture of your worn out brake pad. It's not a picture of a worn out brake pad. You get a picture of your wheel on your car looking at your brakes that are worn out. Don't take my word for it. I want to show you. Picture's worth 1,000 words. We also take video of things like ball joints and stuff that moves. Because, if they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000 pictures. So I'm going to wrap up my Facebook Live for today. And this is a pretty long one. Most people don't like to stay around for 11 minutes worth of me talking. But, if you disagree with, if you agree that we do need to have state safety inspection programs, it is important that you speak to your elected representatives about it. And if you think that the airbag warning indicator should definitely return to being an inspected component in cars, then please reach out to your elected representatives and speak to them. I will be doing it. Other shop owners were working to communicate with lobbying organizations to find out what madness this is. The airbag is literally one of the most important safety inventions put in cars in the last 30 years. And to just all of a sudden say that the key safety component doesn't belong as part of a safety inspection, to me, just defies the imagination. So this is Mike Leach from Pro Auto wrapping it up. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care.